Welcome, this is Eitan Shalom at the Body Mind Wellness Center, except I'm on holiday in the desert and I'm in my kitchen here at my rental, and I am going to show you what I'm making for lunch, which is orange roughy, which is a very delicate whitefish in a sort of Mediterranean Provençal, I would say, Southern French inspired flavor combination, arrangement, spicing. So I've begun by sauteing in olive oil, red onion and carrot, and those are nicely sauteed now. They're about done. So I'm going to take you over. This is Sasha. Hi, Sasha, say hello. Okay. And I'm going to take you over here where I have prepared the rest of the ingredients. Cremini mushrooms, sorry the light's not great here. Cremini mushrooms, which I have sliced, which I'm going to now add, because they're, after the onions and carrots, they take the most time. So now I'm going to turn the heat up a bit. Unfortunately, it's an electric stove, so the response is not that great. And I'm going to now add the cremini mushroom to the onion and carrot, which are already nicely cooked, but it won't harm the onion or carrot to be cooked more. I'm going to cover that for a moment and let those mushrooms cook while I talk to you about the rest of the ingredients. So why do I say this is Southern French or Provençal inspired? And I don't know enough about French cooking to claim that this is specifically limited to that part of France, but I know from bouillabaisse and some other lovely fish recipes that I've cooked that the starting point is often onion, celery, and carrot, which is actually called mirepoix in French cooking. So the carrot's already in, and here's my celery, and here is the onion's already in, so onion, carrot, and celery. So I'm going to have celery, and I may not use all that celery because I realize that I don't really have that much fish. This is how much fish I have. I'd call that about a half a pound or so, less than a half a pound. So celery, and then of course there's going to be fresh tomato, and I'm going to add that as well in a moment. And then there is fresh parsley. I'm a big fan of parsley, so this might be a lot of parsley for this dish. Boy, the light's really poor here. Sorry, what can we do? And then I'm going to supplement the fresh tomato possibly with some strained tomato, a little bit of strained tomato for the sauce. The spicing that I'm going to use, I brought with me from home some oregano from my garden. I have two kinds of oregano here, Greek oregano and Syrian oregano. And I like oregano a lot, fresh oregano. And so I'm using probably way more oregano than someone would use in formal French cooking, but that's all right. And I am also using a little bit of marjoram, some bay leaf, and I'm going to add the bay leaf with the tomato, and then some black pepper, and also a little bit of Spanish paprika. This is bittersweet, agridulce. Oh, and I'm going to add some rosemary, which is over there, which I forgot. So yeah, rosemary is a very nice flavor, obviously, for tomato and fish and celery. And now that I'm remembering that I'm using the rosemary, I'm going to actually use less oregano. I'm going to have to think about it. I might just stick with the oregano and not add the rosemary because they're both quite strong flavors. And if you're going to use rosemary, you'd really want to use a little bit of oregano. And I'm kind of in the mood for more oregano, possibly because I'm going to have this with pasta. Okay, so now let's bring the tomato and bay leaf over to the mushrooms because we're going to make, oh yeah, the heat is not enough here. So the mushrooms are going to take their time to cook. All right, so now I'm going to grab the celery as well. So I'm going to add the celery, about that much of it. I'm going to add the bay leaf and the tomato. I'm going to use all of that. And now I'm going to stir it. I've turned the heat up. I'm going to stir that. And we are going to have to, yeah, I'm going to add the rest of the celery. I'm also a big fan of celery, probably influenced somewhat by my knowledge of the health benefits of celery. And actually that looks quite good anyway in terms of quantity. And I'm going to leave that for a minute. Right, because the fish won't take very long at all. So I might actually have to do this in 2 videos because I don't think you can pause the video function on your camera. Actually, I think you can. I'm going to pause it.